This is my build that I'm currently working on. I feel like I have enough where I can make a build video on it, so I'm making one. I'm using the specialization firewall, obviously. Um, I'm using firewall just for the extra crit damage, because this is a crit damage to armor build. I call it my DPS intimidation build for obvious reasons. I'm using intimidate, I'm using adrenaline rush, and I'm using pack instincts for my talents. Obviously I have the lady death, so you use breathe free as well for the amplified damage. All this is incorporated to make the build what it is. Obviously I'm using the lady death, 14% SMG damage, 19.5 crit hit chance, 6% damage to armor. It has the talent breathe free. When moving, gain 4 stacks per second, or 8 stacks if sprinting, up to 32 stacks total. Each round fired consumes a stack, amplifying damage by 75%. Kills grant 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. That movement speed is what the booster hive used to give you when you would get the proc from it. Now you get that off getting a kill with the lady death. Hence why people move fast when they kill someone with this gun. So if you're wondering why people are strafing you all crazy, it's not a glitch. It's the talent of the lady death. Now my secondary gun, I'm using the police M4 replica. Any of you guys that have seen my build videos before, this is my favorite AR to use with crit, just because I like the stability of the gun and it's decent RPM. It's just my preference, you know. 15% assault rifle damage. Health damage doesn't mean anything in this game, so I don't care about it. It's literally a wasted talent in ARs if you ask me. The attribute I have is 9.5 crit hit chance, and I'm running the talent strained because you get the maximum amount, which is 50% off of an AR. So why not take advantage of it? And I do. So that's 50% crit hit damage right there. Then I have another 40 crit hit damage if I kill something with the perfect finisher. Now if you looked at what I showed in the earlier part of the video, my crits with the lady death go up to 844k per shot when I kill something with the orbit. So it's very important in this build. This is a perfect build for the raid, perfect build for PvE. You could probably even use it for PvP. I wouldn't use it personally because I feel like a lot of reds leaves you you know, weak to skill builds, so you can't really get up close with an all red build in my opinion. But it's my opinion. I would use this for the raid. This is a good ass raid build. The mask I'm using is the coyote mask. For the reason of pack instincts, you and all allies gain a bonus based on the distance of the last enemy you hit. 0 to 15 meters, you get 25 crit hit damage. Now that's going to be our realm because we're using intimidate. So I instantly get 25% crit hit damage, and everyone on my team gets it too. So it's not just something for me, it helps the team. My backpack, I'm using a Sokolov backpack. It has adrenaline rush, so I can get the 60% bonus armor. That comes in handy because this is a, you know, fairly, you know, glass cannony build, I guess you could say. So that 60% extra armor will come in handy. It'll put us in the 1 millions temporarily, but it's still something that'll help with survivability. I got 13.7 weapon damage on the backpack, 4.6 crit hit chance, 12 crit hit damage, 5.3 crit hit chance. On the coyote, I forgot to say, max weapon damage, 5.2 crit hit chance, max crit damage, 11.3 crit damage for the mod. Now moving on to the Fenris AB chest that I have 15% weapon damage, 7% weapon handling, 10.5 crit hit damage, 11.2 crit hit damage, and I'm running intimidate obviously for the amplified 35% weapon damage. Now if you count that along with the lady death, that's 110% amplified weapon damage to go with an additional counting strained and perfect finisher along with packed instincts. That's another 110 50% crit hit damage. And this isn't even with the attributes on any of the gear. Amazing. Now we're moving on to the mask. Core attribute, 15% weapon damage. Minor attributes, 4.7 crit chance, 10.4 crit hit damage. I'm using the Walker and Harris glove, obviously for the 5% weapon damage and the 5% damage to armor that I also get with the knee pad. Now moving on to the knee pad, 15% weapon damage, 12 crit hit damage, 6.9 headshot. Now moving on to the holster, 15% weapon damage, 12% crit damage, 5.3 crit chance. I'm running the Riot Foam with this build, and I'm running the Stinger Hive with this build. Reason being, they will keep people locked in place that I need to concentrate damage on, and the Stinger Hive is just an additional help for damage. I didn't go for no survivability on this build other than Adrenaline Rush. I want ultimate damage, and it works. Now moving on to the stats. For the Lady Death, I got 5.6 crit chance, which doesn't matter because obviously I can get it maxed out with the Coyote mask. 156.4 crit hit damage, which is decent. Obviously with the buffs that I explained before, you add an additional 25 to this, or the additional 40 with the orbit, or both. I'm getting 210% crit hit damage potentially with the Lady Death. Monstrous. 56.9 headshot damage, 11% armor damage, 21.4 reload speed bonus, 14.2 accuracy, 11.6 stability, 7% weapon swap speed, 7% weapon handling, 6.4 ammo capacity. It's just little things, you know. It's nothing major. I just figured point it out. 142.3% all weapon damage, counting the weapon damage bonus and the submachine gun bonus. So that's what I have before the Lady Death procs that 75% amplified damage. Something to think about. I'm literally hitting over 200% weapon damage, along with 210% crit damage. Monster. Okay. With the AR damage, let me go into those stats. Okay, so with my AR, I'm hitting for 143.3% damage altogether. The 103 with the all weapon and the 40 with the assault rifle. So it's hitting major. Let me go up to the crit chance and crit damage. I apologize if I'm taking too long. 44.6 crit hit chance, 161.4 crit hit damage. If you count the orbit along with strained, along with pack instincts from the Coyote, do all the math. It all pans out. 160 plus 40, that's 200. You add the extra 25, that's 225, right? Then you add the 50, that's 275% crit hit damage on the build. Nasty. Okay, this is DPS intimidation, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all enjoy the build. I'm gonna do a PvP showcase with this build because even though I'm not comfortable doing it, I know I can shred with it. And I'm gonna also do some raid showcases in the coming weeks with this build as well. Thank you for looking at the build. I hope you guys enjoy. Again, thank you everyone that watched my last video for my PvP damage armor breaker build. It's almost at 1,000 views. I didn't think I could do it, to be honest, so I appreciate the love. Thank you and enjoy the video.